You know what I mean? Like, because if I remember way back when we did our first Super 60.
Oh man.
You was there with Isaiah Maurice and Iran Bennett. Yeah, man. So you been around. How long you been doing this?
This is my 13th year going into it.
13 years.
Yes.
Really? So you an OG?
Yes. That's what they call me.
That's OG stuff.
Look, I didn't have this at first.
Tell me about it, man.
I didn't have this grade.
Well, that's good stuff, man. So how did you get started in the game? Like, what made you, one, feel like you were qualified to start one, you know, so your journey, and what made you decide you were going to
Well, in a nutshell, I was at Body of Christ church in Raleigh, North Carolina, North Raleigh. Pastor Kevin Redmond, he had just built a dream center there. We just cut the ribbon, and we thought, hey, let's do a basketball camp for the kids in the church. And we brought in Danny Green, who just won a national championship at Carolina, was going into the draft. We did a day camp. And a guy walked in and said, hey man, you ever thought about coaching? And he said something about a prep school, and I didn't know what a prep program was at the time. Long story short, Stevens Prep was the name of the program.
I remember Stevens Prep, yeah.
I go in and I volunteer, no pay, no nothing.
Really?
And then go in there, Chris Hill.
My man.
Yeah, Chris Hill. Yes, and a couple of other kids who was on that team that were really good. Matter of fact, there was a kid on there, Jamal Williams, at Wendy Junior College, and then went to Texas Tech and really had a great career, went overseas.
Okay.
So that was my first year. And then we started, as we were doing it, Pastor Randy said, man, hey, I love what you're doing.
Right.
Why don't we do this here at Christ? And the first year, we were just going to do a post-grad team. And in walks Isaiah Hicks, looking for a school. Darryl Harris, the transfer from John Brown came in from Florida. They went to high school, was All-American and all that. Kevin Poner came. I mean, the list goes on. And 2 years there with two teams. And next thing you know, we came to the situation where I said, well, I could do this on my own, you know, because it was a great undertaking for the church. And then all the NCAA rules and all of that stuff. And I just did my homework and came up with Blue City Prep. And that's been 9 years doing that now. And here we are.
Really? And you had some bangers over there, man.
Yes, sir. It's been a blessing. It's work. Everybody think they can do this, right? And they find out, whoa, this is some have gone, come and gone.
Yeah.
I feel blessed to still be here.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would say that one of the ingredients to my success, I've always had the housing that the kids live with me. Versus, I think it's difficult when you don't have the right staff. Now I have my head coach is running Durham, Aaron Fiber. That's been my guy for the last 2 years. And he's running the Durham show. And I can breathe, I can lay my head down here in Charlotte at night and know the kids have structure, they're eating right, they're working out, they have everything, that they need. And I think that's an important ingredient. The basketball part, easy.
Right.
Right. X and O's, if you know the game, but it's that other stuff that people don't understand that's very critical to running a prep basketball program.
Right. And it's funny you say that because that kind of leads me into my next question. Being the climate of today and, how social injustice and George Floyd and those type of things, how do you prepare these fellas that come to Bull City Prep for life beyond basketball? How do they deal with when they get pulled over by police? And what are some of the things you talk about when it comes to that, right?
It's funny you ask that question. You say funny, but it's a very great question. I didn't realize the other night on the van, I let the boys go out to work and have license to go to the store or what have you. And they went to the corner store and just came back to the house. They said, Coach, we got pulled over because the headlight was out. And we had just had the talk in orientation a couple of weeks before that, prior to that. And I told them, don't talk back, keep your hands where they can see. Yes, sir, no, sir.
Right.
If you can already have your credentials out, that whole thing. And whatever you do, don't do the talk back thing. Don't, try to over talk the authority.
Right.
Just be very respectful. And that's where they were, and they said, hey, everything went fine. Matter of fact, they just wanted to get it fixed, and we did that.
That's important, man. That's
very important.
You know?
Very important.
Because at the end of the day, I tell kids, we want you to come home. We'll deal with whatever they did to you, whatever they said to you, wherever they pulled you over. But we want to talk about it.
Yes.
We want you to be able to speak.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so it's important they know not to be confrontational, especially in this climate. Because at the same time that we're nervous and those things, these rookie cops and things, they're nervous.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So it's a crazy world out
absolutely.
here. You have to see both sides.
You have to see both sides and be careful because you don't want them to anticipate a problem and do something they can't take back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And teaching them also how to, you know, getting jobs and how to do interviews.
Yes.
Tell them what is the benefits of coming to Bull City Prep.
Okay, the benefits. I like to say this, and you know, this is a catchphrase, but everybody say this. We like to keep it real here, 100, you know, keep it a grand here. And that's what we do. When they come in, I tell them about my story. I share my testimony.
And it's a great story.
And I share that with them. And some of it is uncomfortable, you know, they like throwing back because they thinking, hey, Coach has this program, he's been running this program. He ain't never been in trouble with the law. He's never, you know, had a brush with authorities or anything. And I say, man, when I was young, I made a few decisions that weren't the brightest decisions to make. And all it takes is one. But by the grace of God, I share that with them. And they know, hey, this is how you got to conduct yourself. Learn how to speak in public. Learn how to speak in your circles. Learn how to go in any room and be able to talk. And you got to have it. And as young African American, which we have Asian brothers in the program as well. And I'm speaking to their situation, you know. For the most part, that's what we do at Bull City. The benefit of being in the program is just learning about life after basketball and the recruiting process. It's just so much to it. And so just learning how to carry yourself in public and then behind closed doors, because you can look the part, but what really are you? And they learn that when they come to Bull City Prep. I tell them the stories. There's some stories that you would think that, oh, wow, that happened? So, and I'm honest with them, so they know, hey, college basketball is a business. You know, the coaches, they're going to love you, they're going to tell you their best things and stuff like that. And when you get there, their job is on the line. And rightly so. That's right. Rightly so. It's just like my job is on the line when these kids come. So I have to have structure. I have to have discipline those kids. You know, if a kid is doing something inside the program that he ought not to, I need to, you know, it's tiers to it. I just don't send them right home, but we're going to deal with it. Yeah, we're going to get their parents involved, and then next step, maybe some suspension, you know, and that's the real world. Yeah. And so I try to prepare them for that, and I think that's the benefit.
Oh, that's the benefit they need. Now, talking about Bull City Prep, people think it's only prep. So, what is Bull City Prep for those that don't know?
So, Bull City Prep is about education. We're not a school, but I think the benefit of it, by us having these young men, they want to do what? They want to go to college and play ball. The vehicle that's taking them there is basketball. So I had a young lady years ago, we were using a charter school. She said something was profound to me. I had never heard anyone see it this way. Her paradigm was, well, you have academic kids, that's all they thinking about. They want to be lawyers, doctors, they just concentrate on that. So you got these young men, they have to concentrate on the sports and athletics. And I said, wow. She said, so what I'm saying is, she said, hey, they need to be given the benefit of they're balancing this. Interesting, right? So this is a way of saying it's the total whole person other than just basketball. Yeah, we're going to teach you basketball. Basketball teaches you life if you allow it. Right. So that's what it's really about. And as well as the athletic, the academic, as well as that, the spiritual, mental. These kids come from all kind of backgrounds. They got a story like that, I have a story. I have a young man, I won't call any names, in business type of thing that we deal with. You know, didn't know what was going on with the young man, and he told me the story, like where his mother was murdered by his father when he was very young. And his father was in prison, and his father, they got to know each other, and his father said, hey, can you speak on my behalf when it's come time for my parole? Man, that's tough, man. It's for a 17, 18-year-old kid. I mean, these are things that we deal with.
Yeah,
it's bigger than basketball.
Absolutely.
So now he's coming to me as his coach and mentor and somebody he's looking to. He actually lives with as a male role model, and I got to answer this question. So I have to be prepared to answer it. Pray for them, you know, intercede for them. For those that believe it or don't believe it, I know where I'm going to believe. And so I'm going to pray for them. And I need to pray for myself because that's on the deeper level. But then it's things just coming from, they deal with girlfriends, family members, whatever. Some of them, they come in, they've never been recruited. Now they start to get recruited. Guess what? Now fame starts to come in. They don't know how to deal with it. It's just so many things. Managing money and just everything.
I tell people coaching is the easy part. So you got to be a mentor, you got to be a financial advisor, a stepdaddy, a Uber driver. You got to be everything, you know, because they rely on you, they count on you, you know. And you know, you've done a great job over the years, keeping a great group of kids, and you know, I've never heard anything bad about the program. You know what I mean? It's just, those things are important, man, because like you said, we've seen programs come and go.
You know? And some good programs. I mean, basketball-wise, you say, oh. And then they say, you know, like, where do they go?
Well, you know, I trigger a lot to it, and you and I have talked about this before. When you're doing things for the right reason, it'll work itself out. And if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it'll reveal itself. You know what I mean? It's going to happen sooner or later. You know? And so you've been able to make it all these years. You know. So question to me: what can we look for in Bull City this year?
Well, Bull City. We have a national team this year that's probably on par to be the best team that we've had. You have, in my opinion, two of the top players in the country, definitely in the state, and at least 5 guys that's top 25 in the state. And so that's exciting, but also with it comes the bullseye.
That's right. That's right.
So we're excited about that. We got a young group that's coming after that. Everybody's talking about Josh Smith and L.J. Thomas, Ray Watson, those guys, we're talking about those guys. So we have kids coming on the back end of that. There's A.J. Driver. He's out of Littleton. Class of 2023, really good, has great touch around the basket, 6'7", power forward, can stretch the floor out. Then we have a young man out of Chicago, Chinnan Okafora, 6'9", really good. No one ever heard of him because he's not from here. And I think they're going to be surprised. Luke Theron is a 2021 kid from out of Vancouver, 6'9", 6'10". You know, so we got a squad. Yeah, we got a squad. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see what we're going to do.
And where does this squad rank up with squads you've had in the past?
I think so far it will rank right there at the top, if not the top.
Really?
Yes.
Really? That's some big words, man. You got some good teams.
Yes, that's big. That's big to say that. Especially with the Iron Bennett, Isaiah Maurice, David Carmichael, and Dante Caldwell, and those guys. Davender and all those guys. I think that this is something.
So now we start out in a couple of weeks. You playing in our event. The Getting Recruited High School Tip-Off Tour. Y'all tipping it off the first night.
Yes.
Going to Winston-Salem Christian.
Hey, that's a big one.
That's a big game, right?
That's a big time.
Oh man, so
my guy Lowe.
Yeah, my guy. Shout out to Lowe. I'm coming to him next week. how we preparing for? Is that the first game of the season? Or?
Well, we played a little bit already, like what we would call scrimmage games, but they've been in a real format, not a running clock. So I think we've been preparing for that. They're big like we are, athletic like we are. It's gonna be interesting to see. That's gonna be.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Yeah, that's a big game. To open up.
That's exactly what the other squads are. So every year now we want to have openers with bangers, kind of like they do with the Big Ten, ACC.
Exactly. That's what it's. It's reminiscent of that. Very similar to that.
So what is your schedule the rest of the year look like?
Well, right after that we play Word of God. Word of God.
Okay.
Then we come back and we're in the record.
And that's loaded. They got a lot of teams.
Oh man,
they got a lot of teams.
Everybody's in there. Liberty Heights is in there.
And Liberty, Mike's looking good this year.
Yeah. They got a good team. So I mean, it's Combine is in there. Jeff is doing a hell of a job.
They play this weekend.
Yeah. So it's this year's gonna be exciting.
It is. I think so. Some of y'all have some of the better teams. I think this is Mike's best.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
Definitely. And
he's got a dude. He's got Elijah. I love Elijah. Yeah. So a few other pieces.
Yeah. Cape Fear that we have playing against.
Is that where
no, they're playing QA, yeah. So they got a pretty good. My guy was at his practice last night. Steve Mims. It's his first year at Christmas.
Okay. I didn't realize that Mims was there.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, he got the job, and congratulations. Yeah, and he came out with a banging group already. 6'8", 6'9", and he's got a good squad too. So it's gonna be a good year.
Awesome.
So what are some of the things? What is the future of Bull City? What's the vision? Because now you expanded here to Charlotte.
Yes.
And you say you got something in Durham. They're still in Durham.
So we have okay. So let me say this to clarify. People say, man, it's Bull City Prep Shop. Bull City Prep. So we've taken and combined those teams on the national level. So the top guys from the high school in Durham, with the top guys with Charlotte. And so that's our national team. However, like you see here today at practice, we have our high school team here that will play just a general schedule outside of the national schedule. And then we also have a post-grad as well at both places in Durham and in Charlotte. Right now, the Durham program, post-grad, is undefeated in this preseason. They're like 8-0. I mean, I'm like, wow. So we got kids like Kobe Jones, very athletic kid out of South Granville that played with Dr. Featherwood. He was kind of his wing guy. Now we let him get out on the wing, show that he can shoot it and do things like that. So his recruitment is really starting to pick up. And then we got a lot of other kids. We got a kid out of Atlanta that's really having a breakout time.
Heard about this guy?
Yes. Jeff Daniels, he's really good. 6'5" wing, quick as a cat, athletic and shoot it. So we're excited. So it's just not just the national high school, but the post-grad kids are really good too. A kid here, Tommy Moore out of Illinois, is really good. 5'10", point guard, dynamic athlete, play above the rim, can shoot it, run the team. Daniel Bowles out of Dayton, Ohio, really good. And so we got some players. Keith Reese, 6'7", 6'8", kind of unknown out of Virginia, and he's woken up already. 6'7", 6'30", and above the rim, can shoot it. I mean, we're excited about it. So it's just not the national scene, it's just the post-grad as well.
Right. No, that's awesome.
So in other words, we got 4 teams.
4 teams. 4 strong.
We got 4 teams.
Yes. Okay. So now is it the plan to expand or
well, we're going to let this rock like this for a little while. The plan is actually to have our own facilities here in Charlotte and in Durham, meaning our own gym, campus, the dorms there on ground. So that's what we're building up to. We're excited about it. We're excited about it. God is really blessing in that area. We've had some investors come in and say that they want to partner with us, and so that's huge right there in the gym. Because as they say, I like to use all. I have to stay with them, so I know all the terms.
Right.
And, getting it from the mud. I guess I got it from the mud. So we get it out the mud every year, and so we already got finance behind us, and and that kind of type of support, not to mention, with Adidas getting behind us a little bit, feels like that part, the apparel. Man, we can go to the top.
It's been a blessing.
Yes, it has.
You know, and I've watched the growth, man.
Come on, man.
I love it, man.
Man,
You and I talked last weekend about an hour or so, and it was just good to hear, you know, there are good folks like you still involved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you and I both know there's a lot of people out there that pretend to be in this game for the right reasons, but vultures or culture vultures. They're both in there, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it's up to you and I to continue leading these young men so they survive and thrive. You know what I mean?
Yes. Now we talking.
You got me?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
So I just want to say I appreciate what you do.
Yes, sir.
You know, because sometimes I know in this game, appreciation and feeling you know, that people love and respect what you do is sometimes far few between. You get a lot of people that look from the outside and think you're all about basketball and don't understand why you do it and the sacrifice you make from your family. You know, you know what I'm talking about.
I have daughters, and sometimes I feel guilty. I feel like I'm doing
exactly
more for other people in the program than my own kids. Because it really is. Let me say this: it's really a call in my life. I didn't come looking for this. I told you the story at the top of the show. Hey, I'm in the gym. I played college basketball. I was in ministry actually at the church at the time, doing Bible study, new members class in Body of Christ. And this guy comes in, and when he say that, I'm like, yeah, I was reluctantly going at it. I was working at the time, my day job. I was working at Michael Jordan Nissan in Durham, at the Michael Jordan Nissan dealership there. And this opportunity came for that first year, man. I was like, I found myself getting up at 5 in the morning, going to coach them, then going to work, then get off of work, ride to wherever the game is in. You know, that kind of thing. Man. And I look back and I say, how did I get here? Well, I know it's the Lord, but how did I really make it through all this? The ups and the downs. All the rule changes, all the naysayers, you know, because basically we were built off of being underdogs, getting the kids that needed that second chance. So people didn't understand why all these guys go to junior college so much. Well, because they didn't have the grades.
They needed those opportunities.
And we laugh about it, but the truth is, guess what? If they don't go to junior college, then what?
That's exactly right.
That's the question.
Exactly right.
Then you got to worry about something else.
That's exactly
right. And we've seen that too.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen great success. Out of Fort City Prep alone, I know we have at least 8 or 9 guys overseas playing professionally, making a living just playing basketball. Yeah, that's great. That's beautiful. But guess what? I know another 20 that have gotten married, have kids.
Manager at McDonald's is successful.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know,
so they call me to this day and say, Coach, hey, they come. I had Dante Caldwell who just started. He just won a CIAA championship. I had another kid on there, Parker, Jalen Parker, out of Raleigh, that's on that team. They just won the CIAA. Well, he just started his own business. 1 year, he just got his degree. Prep by Dante. He does food prep for athletes and trainers and, you know, all these kind of people, right? So he's getting his business up off the line, and we're one of his clients. He's going to come in and do some food prep for us. So, you know, he's just here to practice, stuff like that, man. Those things. I had a young man named Ethan Driscoll out of Danville, Virginia. Long story short, he plays ball, goes to junior college, he goes to Liberty. Then he says, you know what? I don't really want to play basketball. I don't want to play basketball any longer. You know, I got a love for this other thing. And he texted me the other day and just said, oh, man, look, I'm looking online, I'm following y'all. Man, I remember when. I remember when you had the raggedy van. We ain't far from it now. I remember the raggedy van. We breaking down on the highway, but you still made it happen. Yeah. See, people don't know about it. They just see now. They say, oh, you know, so they don't know it was a grind to get here. The sacrifice, a lot of hard work.
You know, people want to steal our shine because we here, but we earned that.
Come on, man.
I
remember getting me recruited when you first, man. Come on,
man. Hey, I tell people, I ain't always staying at the courtyard. Come on, man. Super 8 and Motel 6. you know, people out making sure the car ain't being broke into.
Yeah.
I did all that
Yes.
because I believed in what I was doing.
Yes.
See, I didn't choose it; it chose me, and I had to follow. You know what I mean? So my struggle through it, like you said, we don't know how we got because it was ingrained in us.
Yes.
It was already successful before we started.
Come on.
We just didn't know.
Right.
You got what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it's not for us to know. You know, it's bigger than us. And so, man, you know.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I have to say this, right? I say, I kind of do this from a selfish place, and they look at me a little strange. I say, I'm 51 now, and I'm still that 17-year-old boy that my father was a high school All-American in Durham, North Carolina, and had 6 scholarship offers, but never was in my life, never taught me anything about basketball. Wasn't in my life. He didn't have this father. So when I do this now, sometimes I have to remember when everybody calls. I mean, I'm just on the phone with Memphis. I'm on the phone with Tennessee, Georgia, you name it. You know, Wake Forest. I mean, this is it can get a big. You know, games start to come. Then late at night, you say, hold up. Why you doing this? Why you doing this? And I have to remember, I'm doing it really because I wanted that as a 17-year-old. I needed that. Some of the decisions that I made, I wouldn't have made them had I had someone like myself in my life.
That's right.
To say, a man to say, hey, this, get your tail in that classroom.
But you know, Darryl, your life was written the way it was supposed to be, so you be right here. You understand? Because if you'd have had some of the things that you were missing, there's other kids that may have taken the pressure that you're taking, that you're relieving that pressure. You're the savior for them, right? Because you didn't have what you were meant to get. You know what I mean? So I tell people everything happens on purpose. Accidents are on purpose, right? And some of the worst times in our lives are actually structured for somewhere down the road. Let's talk about how I got here. Out of a bad situation with my nephew, Quincy Miller. You know the story.
Come on.
So going through such a bad recruitment made me say, you know what? After he crossed that stage, I want to teach other parents the things I didn't know. And why I went through this with them, let me make them knowledgeable because I was green. I didn't know what. All this going on around me and I had no idea what was going on. But once I realized it, I said, well, I know I'm not the only person that has been through this or will go through this. So let me make people knowledgeable of how this thing works, you know? So that's how I ended up with it. Again, during that time, it was some of the worst times of my life, right?
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know, you know. So, but now looking back, actually, I thank some of the characters involved.
Come on,
because
you couldn't think them at the time.
I couldn't think them at the time. I wanted to give them a flying elbow off the top rope at the time.
Yes.
But now I realize you were just a piece of what was supposed to happen for me, right? And as bad as it seemed at that time, I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for you. No matter how bad it was, I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't know what I went through, right? So you know, man, I watched the growth. I want to say I appreciate you. You know, your support for me, your support for these young men. It doesn't go unnoticed. You're OG in the game. You know, nobody ain't got prep schools over 10 years no more. You know what I mean? Those things don't exist like that. It's a carousel. They come and go. You know what I mean? Think about it. Right here in the state, name how many programs have been solid for over 10 years. You know what I mean? Okay, we ain't gonna go into y'all watching right now feeling salty, but we just saying when you're doing
don't feel salty.
You do it the right way, and this is the result. You start getting the benefits.
And let me say this to everyone who might be looking or listening or hearing or come back and archive it. Guess what? By no means is it something that's so great about me. It's just that God has put that in me, and I'm just living it out.
And you're following the rules.
Do I always want to, man, sometimes, guess what? Let me say this there. Sometimes I want to say, listen, I can tell you I'm following the rules. when they're in their house and the dishes in the sink, and I'm like, why is he doing? And just little things that they do. Sometimes I be like, oh, the parents love them, but sometimes they parents they want them. It's their kid, it's their kid, it's their kid. And sometimes you get that phone call, man, and it's just at the wrong time. I'm going through something with my family. And next thing you know, I'm trying to deal with this too. And sometimes I be like, Lord. But guess what?
And you know, that's a great point for y'all watching this. Before you go and get on your coach, think about they going through things. Think about they got their life with their families, and they're taking time away from them for your child. And your child actually may be the reason he's going through what he's going through at home. He ain't spending enough time. He forgot to take the kids the groceries with. You know what I mean? So I just don't. One thing we have to deal with on a regular basis as coaches or mentors is ungratefulness. And I tell parents at my events, I tell them, step back sometimes. Step back and realize this man is doing that for your kids.
Absolutely.
Yours,
Absolutely.
Right? And be thankful that somebody is taking, because there's some people that don't have mentors to take in their kids' lives, and they lose it to the streets, to the ground. You know what I mean? So they really should be grateful to their coaches. You go to your coaches today and just send them a thank you text for taking the time out. Those things mean a lot. They mean a lot.
Come on.
Just one appreciation text go along. There's been times I've been like you know what? I don't know why I'm doing it. And one kid can text me and change, give me energy for another year. Right? Man, they don't understand, you know.
So imagine if 10 parents just reached out and just said,
hey,
thank you.
That's all you need.
And I've had some great parents over the years, man. Some great ones. I call this lady by name. Miss Watts. Her son, her older son, went to Carolina, played in Carolina, Justin Watts. He was in my program. And I just did something simple, something that we as coaches do, right? Hey, he's at another school, put a word in for him and try to see if he can get on the team, whether it's a walk-on scholarship. And I did it, and it didn't even all the way work out, right? And that lady came and made a donation. I mean, I was shocked. This was a year later, she just showed up. And I was like, what? Hey, man, I was in tears. I was like, wow. Imagine if just 4 or more people did that. But my point is, you get those flowers to those people, you tell them, you know, I appreciate you, Miss White. And a lot of other parents that have been in the program, you know what I'm saying? The Hood family, oh my goodness.
As my Aunt Mag used to say, I want my flowers now.
Man.
You know what I mean? While I'm struggling, while I'm feeling down, just tell me thank you. You know? I get it all the time from those kids, and that's motivation, man. It's motivation. And if you're doing it for the right reason, that's all the motivation you need. You know what I mean? And I really feel I'm a real big, and my staff will tell you, if you're doing things for the right reasons, everything it'll take care of itself. When you don't know how you're gonna make it to this event that you need to go to, and kids it's gonna work itself out.
It always do.
It works itself out.
See, that's another thing. People look at, they say, oh, they got this, they got that. Oh, they doing this, they doing that. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
But it always works out. That's why you're where you are.
They don't know.
My man Darryl Harris, we're looking forward to having him November the 10th in Winston-Salem against Winston-Salem Christian. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir, bro.
Everything you do. And you keep doing what you do, man. If there's anything we can do for you, you already know I'm a phone call away.
Yes, sir. Right? Man, I appreciate getting me recruited. Your whole staff, they always give us love. And so, hey, man, whether we were up or we was down or somewhere in the middle.
Always, hey, I tell guys like yourself, doesn't matter whether you're loaded or you got a whole bunch of team that needs some help, or a whole bunch of team that is financially struggling. Whatever it is, if you need me to come talk to them, anything I can do, because I want to see them succeed. You know, when I walk in the gym, I recognize faces. I know sometimes there's stories behind the scenes. I'm just glad they're here. You know what I mean? I've been to 14 funerals of guys 21 and under. You know, and that's a burden, man. That's a burden. You know, I never forget the first kid, Kalani Jacobs in Lumberton, that he passed away, shot in the car, would have been at practice with me if the city hadn't taken away the grant, right? So I always remember that. I always remember hugging his mama at the casket, and she saying how much he loved her. Those things motivate. Those things are why
when it get rough,
somebody
I'm gonna find a way.
Somebody needs you, man. Somebody needs you. Darryl, my man. Appreciate you all. Check us out later on this afternoon, this evening. We'll be at Word of God Christian. I'll be live there talking to Coach Byron Williams and his matchup in the Get Me Recruited High School Tip-Off Tour. Talk to you guys later. Appreciate it, my man.
That thing was
let me
right there, boy.
let me say this.
Hey, look.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
question.
It was authentic.